That's the sun rising. It's 6:56 in the morning it is December 19th, 6:56 in the morning. And my school starts earlier today because it's finals, the last day of finals. This is so pretty. But I'm very grateful to be able to see this. I was thinking about how I was watching this video and they were talking about how on their summer bucket list they wanted to see the sun rise. And it's kind of weird that we don't see the sun rise every morning because we're like animals, you know? That makes no sense. Anyways, but I have to leave like 40 minutes earlier today. So I was like, oh, what if I didn't know whether to wake up 40 minutes earlier or just wake up at the normal time. I decided to wake up the normal time, which is 5:50. But I was like, oh, if God wakes me up 40 minutes earlier, then that would be good. Anyways, I woke up at exactly 5:10, 40 minutes earlier. So that's why we're out here. I'm very grateful I'm out here. It's so pretty. Wow. Okay, I've always wondered why like poor people are obese. Because in my mind, if I was like dirt poor, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna make a vegetable soup like every single day and just eat that to save money. Because I'm kind of stingy when it comes to buying my own food. Not with other people, but. And I reading this book. It's called Dopamine Nation. It's basically about addictions like drugs, porn, and food. And my theory for why poor people are obese is that because poor people are more likely to be unsatisfied with their life. So it's prettier in real life. Poor people are more likely to be unsatisfied with their life because, especially now, because let's say you're like working at a factory, it's like you don't see the end result of what you're really making or anything. So, and you probably feel that your occupation doesn't have a purpose. This reminds me that the world is round. But poor people probably they feel more that their occupation doesn't have a purpose. So, and it also doesn't help that social media makes people compare everything. Like, if you think about it, if you were in like 1850s, I don't know, whenever the Industrial Revolution started, if you were working in the factory for like 2 cents an hour, you're not going to be like seeing everyone around you is going to also be like factory workers, and they're also going to be working for 2 cents an hour. So you're not really going to see like these billionaires and these millionaires. But now, because of social media, okay, well, you're not going to be seeing these billionaires and these millionaires. So you won't have anything to like compare yourself to. But now, because of social media, people like they see billionaires and millionaires like all day all over their screen because that's like what's popular on the internet. And then they just like the comparison, they compare it to their life. which makes their life even sadder. And I think to fill that void, they kind of feel like they have to, and that's why they're like more likely to be on like drugs and stuff. And that's why poor people are more likely to be on drugs. Like if you look around and you look at like the homeless people, they're always on drugs just because they're so unsatisfied with their life that that's like the only thing that makes them feel happy. Like if you have no purpose in life, then that energy still has to go somewhere, and it's naturally just gonna gravitate to something negative because of the way like people profiting and the way society is built and all of that. Which is why like poor people, even though like fast food will be going up in price, they will still buy it because the food now, it acts as the way it raises your dopamine is the same way it raises is the same okay, the way like a hamburger from McDonald's, it has like all these saturated fats and sugars that are made so that you get addicted because they want to make money. And because you get this huge dopamine spike, it acts the same way in your brain as a drug would. So they become addicted to this food, which I think food addiction is like the most normalized addiction, and many people don't even believe that it's a thing, or they don't want to believe it's a thing. But because it reacts in the same way that a drug does, your brain reacts in the same way, you can get addicted in the same way. So I think that there's a condom right there. I think that it's just like the same thing as they're just trying to fill a void. They're trying to fill this lack this lack of purpose and this lack of contentment for their life with food, because food is more acceptable anyways. So it kind of, and then they say like, oh, it's faster, it's cheaper, when really it's usually not. That's what I wanted to say about that, because I've always been wondering, and now that I've read this book, I had this theory. Anyways, I'll see you at the top.